Hey, what's going on? Chuck here, and in my daily marketing for my company, I get to see a lot of the keywords that people are typing in to find me, and I noticed a lot of people are looking for like marketing strategy for a construction company or how to make a marketing plan, and just keywords related to that. So a lot of people are in the research stage and they're just looking for information and advice on a strategy to market a construction company. And since that's what I do literally day in and day out, I thought it'd be really cool to do a video just kind of brain dumping about this topic. I know for me personally, as I'm learning things or picking up new skills, it's always really helpful to just listen to somebody who knows more than me just talk about what they're doing. I learn a lot just from watching and listening to other people and having them explain what they do. So today I'm just going to brain dump about marketing strategy for construction companies. And construction companies, I'm mainly talking about like local service businesses, residential, contractors, home builders, people that deliver like services to people in their local community. That's the main kind of company that I work with. I don't work with a lot of like big national construction companies or like people building skyscrapers and things like that. That's a little bit different of a world. But if you're like a smaller construction company, meaning 1 to 100 or more employees, but you service like a local area, be it one city or 5 cities, then this kind of stuff would apply to you. So I'm just gonna brain dump and talk about, maybe what I would do starting a company and working my way up to more advanced levels. So let's talk about first like the bare basic marketing strategy. So if I was a contractor starting out today, and this could be a remodeler, an electrician, a plumber, a landscaper, first thing I would do is like identify who am I working for. Because if I'm like a plumber or an electrician, I'm likely going to be working for a lot of general contractors or builders, and maybe I do some work directly with homeowners. But if I'm a remodeling contractor, or like a landscaper, chances are I'm mainly working with homeowners. So that's kind of the first step, is who are you trying to work with? And if you work with them a lot, or you have in the past, then you should know some things about them. You should know where they are. Homeowners are obviously going to be at their house. They're going to be looking online a lot of times for things that they need. But let's say that I was a remodeler just starting out today, moved to a new city, didn't have a website, maybe don't even have a logo yet, just maybe I don't even have a business name yet. I'm just working for myself. The first thing I would do is I'd get some business cards made. If I didn't have a business name, I'd just use my own name. And I would literally find a neighborhood that I wanted to work in. Maybe it's my own neighborhood that I just moved into. And I would walk around and knock on every single door and just introduce myself. Hey, I'm Chuck. I'm a remodeling contractor. I do bathrooms, kitchens, wall removal. I can do just about anything that you need. Do you need any remodeling or handyman services? Most people are going to say no, not right now. But you can still give them your business card and say, hey, I'm new to the area. I don't really have any work. That's why I'm walking around talking to everybody. And here's my card. If you or anybody that needs my help, please just give them my card or give me a call. And that alone, if you go and you knock on 100 doors and talk to 100 people, I guarantee you're going to be able to get some work out of that. Maybe not right away, but in the weeks or months to follow, you will, especially if you make a good impression, you smile, and you're just generally a pleasant person to talk to. But I have a friend of mine who he cleans gutters. That's his business, and he did this challenge where it was all filmed on YouTube, and he basically started with nothing. He had no phone, no money, no tools, no anything, and he went door to door. I think he's in Los Angeles or somewhere in California. He went door to door, knocking on people's doors and just asking, hey, we clean gutters. Do you need your gutters cleaned? And he did that for like 12 or 14 hours straight, and he made like $600. So, you know, that's just proof right there that you really don't need anything. He didn't even have tools. He used their hose and their ladder. Obviously, if you're remodeling or doing something, you're going to need some tools, but I'm sure that you have those. So yeah, like at the most basic stage, like you're just trying to find some jobs, and there's stuff that you can do to actually produce those. And marketing is literally the act of like producing jobs, producing customers. So let's just say that you do that and you've been doing that for a month or two and you've saved up some money. Now is when you can start to invest in things. You can you can license your LLC, get your business name. You can get a logo made by a graphic designer. You can get business cards made. Hopefully you've saved enough at this point to get your website built. Now, a website that never gets found by anybody is pretty much pointless. But that said, most people expect companies they work with to have a website. It's kind of like modern day equivalent of having a business card. So, you know, me being able to build websites myself, I actually have a team that does it now. You know, that's literally the first thing I would do is like, let's have a website built. But for you, you might not have that luxury. So you have to save up a little bit of money. You get your website, you get search engine optimization so that people can actually find you on Google. And the key to that is Google Maps. They call it Google My Business, GMB for short. And you literally, like day one, as soon as I moved into my new place, I would have signed up for my GMB. You go to google.com/business, put in your information. They send you a postcard to your address to verify that you're actually there. And instantly people will be able to find you online. I'll just do a quick demonstration just to show you. Let's see. So if I go to Google and I type in like remodeling contractor near me, I have some ads up top, and then I've got Google Maps. And so you sign up for your Google Maps listing, Google My Business, and people in your neighborhood, people close to you, will be able to start finding you here. And the trick is, the key is to get reviews on this thing. Get reviews right away. Have your friends, your family, every happy customer you've ever known, anybody that will speak well of your character, of the job that you do, of your reliability, of just anything positive. Ask them to leave a review and get those stacking up. You know, once you get past 10, past 20, you know, up into the 40s and 50s, when people find this listing and they look at your name and they look at 50 5-star reviews, they just automatically think like, okay, this is a good person to work with. This person's trustworthy. They're making a lot of people happy. And that stuff doesn't cost you anything to do. You can get the listing for free. You can do all this yourself. I even have a PDF guide that you can download on my website that walks you through setting this thing up and what information to put in and all that kind of stuff. So I'll make sure that we put a link to that thing in the description of this video so you can go download that. But get that set up, get reviews going. I have a friend who he doesn't even have a website. All he did was get this listing and get some reviews, and he gets calls every single week about this, about hiring him. So it's pretty amazing. But you know, if you're in like a competitive area, like you'll notice here, there's 3 businesses showing up here, right? But if I press view all, I'm gonna see tons of companies here. So the trick is you wanna show up in the top 3, otherwise no one's ever really gonna see you. So how do you show up in the top 3? Well, that all comes down to your website. So if I click on, this is actually my website, my remodeling company. I've got 2 companies. One's a marketing company, the other is a remodeling company. And this is our site. And so you notice little things like general contractor in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. That's where I live. I've got remodeling, additions, and custom homes. You know, I've got, these are called keywords. I've got all the keywords for the kinds of projects we do. I'm very specific about where I'm located. And just little details like this around the website, that helps our listing show up on Google Maps. And I mean, I'm making it super simplified. If you're in a competitive area, it can take a lot of work to make that happen, but it's worth it. If you don't know how to do it, it's worth the investment, because you can invest, say, $5,000 in getting a good website built and making sure that, you know, having all the necessary things in place to get found on Google Maps. And this listing alone will bring in enough projects to get huge return on your investment. This listing right here has brought in hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of work for us at this point over the last couple years. We're currently booked out for 2 years. We haven't taken any appointments through our website in like 8 months. You'll notice if you try to contact us, like schedule a meeting, our contact form is just not even available. We're fully booked. If you call the number that's listed on our Google listing, this number right here, you get a message, a recording saying that we're very busy and please go to the website to book an appointment. So we haven't taken any appointments in 8 months, and we still have return customers and referrals calling us. So, I mean, we're busy as ever. But before that, a few years ago, we weren't. And so getting this listing in place was a huge milestone for us. And that's one of the main things that my marketing company helps contractors with. But anyways, that would be my main priority for a marketing strategy, if I didn't already have that in place. Now, once you have that in place, that's kind of like the foundation. There's so many things that you can do, and it all depends on what your goals are. And a good goal is not get as many jobs as I can. That's a bad goal. A good goal would be something like get 5 bathroom remodeling jobs each month in this specific part of town. That's a good goal, because that's something that you can actively measure and that you can actually pursue from a marketing perspective. If I wanted bathroom remodels in this specific part of town, and I knew it took 2 phone calls, 2 people calling me about a bathroom to get one project, then I would use like Google ads or other types of advertising, combine them all together, and do my best to get 20 leads a month for bathroom remodels from that section of town. Because you can do that. You can target specific areas and specific keywords and specific types of jobs. And I know that if I get 20 leads and I close half of them, I'm going to get 10 jobs. So that kind of goal gives me the focus I need on my marketing plan to actually be able to make that happen and to measure how effective it's going to be or how effective it is. If my goal was just get as many jobs as possible, well, getting one job would be one job, you know, as many jobs as possible, but maybe I wouldn't be happy with that. Maybe I want 5. And so getting specific about that will really help you narrow down what exactly your marketing plan is and what kind of marketing strategy that you can use. Now I've got an article on my website I wrote a long time ago. I'll also link to this in the description. It's Adapt Digital Solutions. It's on my blog. It's called Lead Generation Best Practices for Construction Companies. And I go through and I go into pretty good depth about this stuff. I talk about passive lead generation versus active. And I just break down all the different little micro strategies. Word of mouth, a website, you know, Google search is up here. Google Maps, I just talked about that. You know, if I already was maxing out on what I can do from those other strategies, I might try using Yelp, Thumbtack, Porch, House, and these lead generation companies. They're not my favorite, and that would probably be my last resort, but it's always an option. If I need really high volume of leads, then that's something that you could try. Signage, having signs on your truck, putting signs out on the street in front of your projects, doing little things like that just to help get the word out. You know, if you're the owner of a company and you have a crew working, your job is to promote and sell projects. So finding every way that you can to promote is the marketing strategy. You don't want to just, You know, a lot of guys and girls think that you just find one thing that works and then that's all you have to do. Like, oh, I'll just sign up for Angie Leads or Home Advisor and that's all I need to do. Wrong. You want to do everything. At least try everything. You know, have signs, have your website, be on Google Maps, run Google ads, try Facebook ads. You could try YouTube ads. You can go door to door. Like, you want to do a bunch of different things and then find out what works for you and your particular market, and then do more of those things and then cut out the things that don't work. We got pay per click. So this is Google ads. You can literally pay Google to show up here at the top. You know, Powell & Sons and Angie, these are two lead generation companies. Home Improvement Contractors voted best in Coeur d'Alene. This company just pretends to be an actual company, but they're just a lead generation. Like, literally, if you click on this, all it is, oh, Home Improvement Contractors in Coeur d'Alene, you put in your form, blah, blah, blah. But if you read the fine print, you you find out that they're actually just selling your information to Angie's List, Home Advisor, Modernize, all these other lead sellers. So we've got Powell & Sons, lead reseller, and we've got Angie. So there's two companies buying ads for this keyword in this part of town. Neither one of them is an actual contractor. So maybe if me, being an actual contractor, paid Google to be found up here, I would get some attention because all I would have to do is name my ad an actual construction company in Coeur d'Alene. You know, don't click on the fakers, whatever, you know. That would be an option. What else do we have on here? You know, in this article, I go into detail about a lot of this stuff. I talk about what keywords to choose and stuff like that. So, you know, if you're trying to run Google ads, or even if you're hiring someone to do it, it's worth at least doing some research and kind of understanding what's going on. Here I talked about door to door. We've got direct mail, which is just sending out flyers. Send out flyers to all the houses in a specific neighborhood, you know, for 6 months in a row or every 2 months for a year. I guarantee that's going to get projects. So that few $1,000 investment in doing that will bring in tens of thousands of dollars of projects if you're a remodeling contractor. And then I have got a section here, and this is important, like getting the most out of leads. You know, a lot of people just think, oh, I'll just do marketing, and when I get leads, that solves all my problems. But wrong. Like, there's certain things you need to do with those leads to get the most out of them. Like, call people back immediately or just answer your phone. And I know a lot of this is common sense, but you would not believe like how many people don't do this. Some people call back like 3 or 4 days later, and then they're confused that they don't get those jobs. Even after you talk to someone and you submit an estimate, follow up with them weekly, you know, just checking in. If you follow up with them weekly and you talk to them, you'll know how often you should follow up. But as a rule, I just follow up weekly. And measure your results. Like, track this stuff. How many leads did you get? How many phone calls did you have? Like, you got 10 leads, but you only talked to 8 people. Of those 8 people, how many did you actually meet with in person? Okay, 6 of them. And of those 6 people that you met with in person, how many of those did you actually do an estimate for? Let's say 3. And then of those estimates, how many projects did you actually get paid for? Let's say 1. So you track all that stuff for a while, and then you realize, okay, it takes 10 leads to get 1 job. Now you know. So if you want 3 jobs a month, you need 30 leads. How am I going to get 30 leads? Well, that's when you can go set out. So that would be that's the strategy, and that would be at the point where you're making your marketing plan, because you know exactly what you need. You can define who you need to talk to, what kind of jobs that you'll be doing for them, and then how many of those people you need to talk to. Another thing is like your offer. Like, what exactly are you offering? Some landscapers will offer like a free lawn mowing, your first lawn mow free. Or a plumber might offer like $69 sink unclogging or something like that. Some kind of like little simple offer to get yourself in the door so that you have a chance to sell more things. that's getting a little advanced, but it's good to think about things like that. A lot of people just offer a free estimate. That's super common. I'm not a big fan of doing free estimates unless it's a small project. We're not going to be bidding huge additions for free. It takes too much time. But that's a topic for another time. The last thing I'll bring up is just going to, this is a great marketing strategy here. Going to conferences, joining associations. Like when I was a superintendent for a remodeling contractor in Portland, him and I used to go to like interior design conferences and architect conferences, and we would rub elbows with people that were designing the type of projects that we wanted to work on. And a few of those relationships that we developed ended up turning into millions of dollars worth of projects. And so if you're looking for really high-end stuff, like the really cool stuff, it's the relationships you have with the people that are already affiliated with those projects that are going to get your foot in the door. It's much harder to go door to door and get a $3 million remodel edition. And it's even hard to use advertising or to just have a website that brings you in these ginormous projects. A website might bring in 150 leads in a year, and one of those leads is for a big project. The rest of them are for medium or even small projects. So, if you're one of those people that only wants to work on the big, awesome, amazing projects, rubbing elbows with the right people and then building a reputation for yourself in magazines, again, associations, just building a reputation and putting your image out there as someone who works on these amazing projects. That's how you get those kinds. So I hope that this kind of brain dump was helpful for you. If you've got ideas or think of something I missed, or you even disagree with something I said, put it down in the comment section. Let's have a discussion about it. I love talking about this stuff. If you think this video was cool, hit the like button. If you want to get notified when I publish more videos like this, hit the subscribe button. I post a couple videos a week, and I talk about all sorts of stuff. So if you have a suggestion for what you'd like me to talk about next, throw it in the comments. And yeah, I'll see you on the next one.